And we are live. Morning, and welcome to Coffee and Conversations. How y'all doing this morning? Man, we are 15 past 9. So we are running a little behind, but it's okay. That gives more people time to come in who would like to join in on this hot topic, because we got one for y'all. Man, listen, how is y'all evening doing? Hope everyone is having a great morning so far. Here is
Hello.
Apostle herself.
No, I think I just left it when I came out the door because I had changed the color. I think I just grabbed it and came down, but don't worry. I got my phone here yesterday.
So yeah. So we do have a great
Good morning to you, and welcome to Coffee and Conversations. Well, we meet here every Monday through Friday to drink our coffee or beverage of choice, tea, whatever. No judgment.
And talk about
some stuff. That's why there's an S on the end, because God knows where we'll go within the hour. So
that part.
It could be one conversation, it could be many. We are like, there are no minutes, there are no segments, it's just go with the flow. So
Coffee and Conversations. What we talking about today? We try to think of a topic, but it might go all over the place.
And once again, if you hear a voice in the echo and you wonder who is that, Mama Faye is definitely in the studio this morning. That part. Okay.
I hear it.
So she is here. So when you hear a voice start to grab you, know that she is here on the sideline.
Live in the studio.
Jumping in to get her point heard. I got something to say.
Deep too, honey.
And that's the point about the conversation.
That part. Get to hear.
As well as all of you guys' voices, right? Good morning to you. From wherever you are watching from, whether it's YouTube. Hello, YouTube.
Yes.
I'm
I
building
love
my life
the
over there.
Coming in from the YouTube channel.
Hello, Survivor, the Soul Viber group.
Yes.
If you are not a member, you want to be a part of that. That is a private group. So definitely join the Survivor to Soul Viber group. We shall be doing a whole lot of new content in that group real soon.
Girl, you smell me?
I hope you smell good. Talking about do you smell?
Oh, I mean in a good way.
What is that? It's the butterfly.
Shea butter.
The shea butter.
But you know how long when Misha was making the shea butter for all of us, but she made one for Byron, one for me. I done had 3 of them already, but she stopped making it. But Byron still had his, and he had it just sitting on the side of the dresser. I looked at it one day. I was like, babe, let me have this. You don't even use it. And I started using it. I said,
child. It's just plain, what is it?
Scented? No, she scents it with the oils that we like. So like
stuff of choice you like.
Okay.
Like you would put your frankincense and myrrh in the
Yeah, that's what I do.
I'm
supposed to be doing me somewhere I choose me. I have to do what I choose me.
Because my dad nice one for me for that helps. Yeah, I love shea.
Yeah, that's true. That's all the
one
kids
of the things
use.
that I could do.
I buy the tub.
My skin be.
And I realized I took this when I was in school.
I'm gonna buy Ray Bonner jar
to use.
Just look at the hands.
Girl, she over here getting massage. Look at
and
just some healing hands.
They end up taking the shea butter and putting in it.
Girl, you need to get back. Well, just do that. You can sit and do hand massages on face.
Yeah, that would be
that.
But Leilani told me today, no, we can't do your feet. You do the
you can sit in the chair and do. That is so relaxing.
Yeah.
You know, people use their hands for everything every day. Especially people.
Any massage is relaxing.
Yeah, it is. But
but that's something that you do.
Therapeutic.
Do something and then speak
within your capability.
That's
measurement of ability in which
that part. Thank you. No excuse. I choose you. There's no limitation. So if I gotta sit, then I'm gonna do it this way.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna take it. Yeah.
You get your appointment.
That's good.
I would be like,
the struggle is I'm in Jamaica.
They get them too.
Yeah, but I gotta get licensed different. So
You gotta get a
just,
license. What you?
Yeah,
You can't just say hand massages. Shoot. Pause.
And you know what? It's sickening because James actually never had no license, but he been making money doing it, and he's good at it because he used to work in a sport at the doctor's office in Atrium or whatever, and he worked as a sports medicine nurse.
So he's has a license to touch because he was a nurse.
Well, that was.
But I'm saying,
yeah,
there's certain I guess, and the thing is that those are things that we used to be able to do,
block you
but to block us, right?
But he had went
but
back
you know what?
Because something happened or whatever, somebody said something. Yeah. He had to go back and just get the paper.
Right, exactly.
And it's like, child, y'all, let me.
But the paper requires us to pay them. I mean, but this is
it's
what
all
they
about
do
paying for certification. That's what I'm saying. Who certifies me?
What?
God,
right?
He may need a soul doctor.
You know,
certified.
I've been touching all my life.
But touch.
They say
if
you
that
have
up
to
there and then I heal you and you falling back, child.
But they got certified. They licensed.
Or some of them are actually has ability. I've seen them do it. Some people are really gifted.
No, I know.
Gifted to the touch. Gifted to the
how they've been. Yeah.
I mean, I've been blessed to know quite a few of them.
Yeah, and
in my circles.
They really be like, it's just certified. It's all a business. That's what I'm saying. Life is a business, and once they can figure out how that they can get their part out in your pocket, it's like even the internet. I always said it's like God is the omnipresence, right? That's what it is. It's however you show up, that's what it is. And that's really how it is in life, right? But now everybody's like, okay, people are making money. They got control. How do we get in their pocket? How do we get a percentage? You don't get a percentage. We talk about, we can even talk about sports and stuff. The owners are trading our people. Mm-hmm. And because you're getting millions of dollars, it's better than but they're making billions off for you. So it's really no difference. Now I'm just giving you enough value where I can still ride you out. So it's still the same thing. It's like, how do I put you under my system? So it's like a higher paying job, but the freedom they don't have when you hear them talk, they don't have the freedom. They talk to them like they own them. Not like you're a person collaborating in my business. It's just, it's you know.
I mean, that was part of the reason why I stopped teaching. Because if I'm degreed, you know, and you could pay someone who doesn't have any degree more than you're paying me.
Yeah,
and I'm not sharing today.
I have all of the qualifications, and then you'll pay them for them to be an assistant in the classroom with 15 students. Mm-hmm. And I have 35 students with no assistant.
Yeah, just me with 35. That's like
on a practical hands-on that I gotta deal hands-on with every student.
With no assistant.
And then you want to pay me less than you paying the other person who's not.
Me and Byron was just talking about that.
Qualified, who's working on their bachelor's and a master's. Kiss my ass.
And you paying money for it. Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it. I have to tell my students I love you dearly and you're gonna do well. But I can't I'm at a stage in my life where I'm not. And you know what I'm saying? How you can walk away from $35 an hour.
It's a season.
It's not the money. It's the principle of it. Hell no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, and I guess that's my problem. I have principles that I can't. There's certain stuff I really just am not accepting. Yeah. And I couldn't tell nobody to accept that. Mm-hmm. You know, I deserve better than that.
Come on now.
So, no.
Come on now.
So, like I said, I'd rather not make no money than $35 an hour with them taking advantage of me.
Come on now.
See, I could go to my community and if I'm going to do, then I just charge $35 an hour and do a massage. And do a massage. And that's what I told them. I get paid more an hour just touching one body, but just teaching 35 bodies.
For an hour?
for the day.
75 an hour. Because the schools is charging it, and that's what you probably get a percentage of it, which is probably 20.
I was making $100 and something an hour when I just do a regular massage.
It's crazy, man. But,
so
that's why you gotta always be on the other end.
So it's like no.
You gotta be,
and I gotta pay my. But at that point, I had to pay
the cost
the student loans, or I gotta pay more. No. Now I'm training all of your people.
I ain't been making enough money to pay this.
And it was funny too, because my students were the only students who went for their boards and passed right out. All of the teachers that they was paying good money to, other people.
Yeah.
They had to retrain the students to pass the boards. Only my students passed on the first time. They called, the kids was like, the students was calling me and saying, Miss Faye, you coming back? You gonna come back? Only your students passed. They had to retrain all of this. Because people paying tuition, it's a college.
Well, and this is what we got to do, though. When we have that information that certifies you, right? That's what you learn in the business. The people who can speak, that's why you get what's it called? Testimonials. It's useless. Unless you're going to put it together. So if you got 10, if this is your credibility, then that is your paperwork. And then you serve notice, right? So if you say I healed you, or I did this, or I did that, you the evidence. Now I take your mouth, because I'm going to always speak highly of myself. I hope you're doing that for yourself too. That's why we can't just listen to what you say. We listen to what they say. So if you impacted them, ask them to give you a 90-minute, a 60-minute, a 30-second video, and accumulate those videos and create your own platform, because nobody gives you nothing. You take it. You use what you got because they already use you. And God said they wasn't really using you. I was allowing you to use the time to make you credible for you, because I already qualified you. But it is you that don't know that you're qualified. And so since you don't know that you're qualified, I allow you to touch people who will say, thank you. You changed my life. So now I don't need nobody else to tell me, because I heard God, I did the work, and then you told me, even if you forget tomorrow. I don't care if you forgot tomorrow. I remember, and I know what you look like before I touched you. So I don't need you to tell me what God already showed me. So I take that for self. And so I move forward with confidence. I just needed you to know yourself more. I needed you to see yourself through their eyes. That's like even when you arrive, right? Most of the time, you listen to all the speakers, listen to all the people, they say, oh my God. Took forever for family department. Lisa Nichols, when I went to her conference, she would say she had been doing it for over 20 years. And her mom and dad, nobody even got it. They helped her. They watched her kids. Like, it wasn't that they didn't support her. They didn't understand. And she said, and one day she go in there and everybody's like, oh, because everybody says, well, where's Queen L? The support. And she said, nobody supported me.
Right.
I created, she said, I went to events where it was predominantly white men. I was the only black woman, and then it was maybe 3 or 4, because we wasn't paying for intellectual property. These are things where I had to pay $5,000 to get into the conference. I had to borrow money on my card to get into the conference after I had saved. Why? So that I could go there and they could be like, oh, I like the way, because you got a bunch of people who are multimillionaires and they all want to give back to something that they can believe in. So now when I'm there being myself in a room, because you want everybody to follow you. She was in there by herself. And then she raised $500,000 in capital because she was willing to go alone. And guess what she was able to go back and do? Create programs and things to now give back to the people. So now your parents and those people can see you through the eyes of the people that you heal. So yeah, they won't get it. Listen, I love to tell the story. They didn't get it what Jesus was. He was just a carpenter. And you spend your whole life trying to be different for people when God said, I already set you apart. I set you apart and sent you on a journey to do what? To show up, to be my evidence. There's so many people who are doubtful. Even the ones I touched still doubt that I'm real. So I just need you to remember the touch I gave you and hold those memories. Those are the memories I want you to live in. I want you to live in my truth and not my lies, because I said I am that I am. So the other stuff you got over. So don't focus on the low vibration. That's why I said God is the vibe and faith is his vibration, which means fear would be his deceleration. If I am that I am and fear is the presence of doubt, then where there is doubt, there is not God. So if I doubt it, then God can't exist in it. So that's when you are out of the presence of God. Doubt is not of God, because he already said that all things I am that I am. And if fear is doubt, then doubt means God ain't in it. So that's why my vibration is here, because I don't believe. But when I have faith, it's here because now I have the freedom, have the insight to hire me.
Above.
That part.
That was, for me, the ascension. That was Christ's
ascension.
Good morning. Good morning, boo. Good morning, love.
What up, good morning
to you. The birds are chirping. Ooh, 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 ooh. Good morning. Look, Nancy. Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. I feel like the more we do it, the more I feel like great mom, like I'm doing it.
I know
that's why I go into when I move. That's how
I'm too, because I'm about that.
You too. Tooth was like. And great mom was
like in his shunna.
Oh, in his shunna.
They got mad mocked by anything.
They got them soul soldiers. Shoulders.
They do the shoulders, man.
Soul shoulders. That's all I got. I got mine by me too. When I'm sitting, I be hitting it.
What?
I get up, them legs and the shoulders don't work together.
But as long as I'm sitting,
can't tell me nothing. You like, damn, she got rhythm. She got all the rhythm. But yeah, so I think that's just the, that's the journey of life.
It right there for real.
That's the story. And so I guess we can creep into the topic,
which is.
This is nice.
Would you quit your job for your mate? Those are nice size cups. You ordered some?
Yeah, that was one of them I had.
I gotta go on that immediately.
That's the bigger one. That's the 15 ounce. But most of mine is like the 11 ounce or whatever. But
yes. Let me show y'all. Kia got a couple on her site. She got some coffee cups.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute? Where's your other one? So you could go. Oh, mommy killed that coffee, honey. It's gone. Wanna go night night?
Don't drink it. And man, when it's gonna get cold?
Coffee ain't gonna get cold on me.
I'll do no cold.
But yeah, so would you quit your job for your mate?
I was like, no.
But you did.
But I can't really say that.
She said no, but she did.
But what's
eventually?
I mean,
the most important thing I think would be
it wasn't because he was done for him. It was because I was done. I was done.
But that's what I'm saying, because he saw that it was not serving you.
I was like,
if it was purposeful for you, I think he would have. He would have accepted the sacrifice. He didn't see it. I don't think he saw.
I think he got used to it a little bit more as I was still doing it. And when my money was good, it was good. So he wasn't really.
That's what I said. When he was seeing when it was worth the separation.
But he was like, so when he was kind of like over it and good, I was starting to get to a point where it was like, I'm getting wild. And now it's like, don't you want to go back to the credit? You don't want to go back? You don't want to? I'm like, no, I don't miss that at all. He was like, well, why not? You was making a decent amount of money. Yeah, but I will find it another way because I'm not doing that. Because you know what I mean?
Right.
Decent money don't mean decent living.
Money's not everything.
We mistake.
I need a break.
Lala says it depends on the type of job and why. So give me both. In what instance? What job wouldn't you quit for your mate and why? That's the question then.
Because
if it depends on something, what is the something that it depends on? Since you have a depends in the equation, that means you already have this is what I will never quit when it comes to this, right?
I mean, because I've ran into that challenge.
I'm so glad
people.
Oh, but you know what? And I think I think we need to deal with the job, because job is Job, right? I didn't say work. I do plenty of work. I do healing work.
Like job.
I do ministry. That's a work. There's a difference between a job and work.
Okay.
And many of us have jobs that are giving us finances, that are making us feel like we live in the American dream, but it is depleting our spirituality, our emotional state, our relationships. So it's a Job, because it's taken and not added. Work adds. God said faith, if you turn your faith into works, right? That means works is an addition. Adam was working. That means he didn't have one job. He took care of what needed to be taken care of. That's work, right? A job means I accept this, you're going to pay me for this, and this is an exchange of value. And even if I'm complaining someday, I'm getting up to go. So I'm spiritually drained. My family is drained, but I'm getting up because I have more faith in you than I do in me, right? Because then that would mean I would have to set a new tone. I would have to change it around so that I can make sure that my spirit, my family, my life can I would say collaborate with what I'm doing. So a job is one thing. See, so if I was working, then it would serve me, because work serves everybody. Right? A job serves the body.
Right.
For a time. And then everybody becomes depleted from the Job. Does that make sense?
I mean, because I hear you, because I realized there was a difference.
I'm thinking you.
When I had the job that was paying me and working in the church.
I don't know what it was doing.
It wasn't really paying me, but it was satisfaction. It was growth. It was healing. It did a lot of things for me, working in the service of God's people.
That part. I was working at the job.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when
I enjoyed the work I was doing for the job.
Right. Because the work wasn't in alignment.
And when it changed.
I'm done with lies. I'm so done with lies.
Their lives, that's the joy I got out of the job with the work I was doing.
Right. Yeah. And the depletion was, where the hell you at? You going somewhere else? Da-da-da. That was the job. Jaden gonna call you 1,000,000 times. Yeah, she honest. That's the job part.
See what I'm saying? So what we're talking about, it got me confused.
The work part, see, when you working, you're gonna get that overflow. So the work part was making them love it. Like where I was like, okay, I was complaining less because I could see the sacrifice in the return on investment, ROI.
That was
they teach you first thing. If you ain't got no ROI, you wasting your time.
Of the people I was serving,
because that's how they're gonna get you to work for free. That's like the church.
That's the church.
If I bring you in and let you know what they say, you gonna pick my gifts. Right? If my gifts you want me to give it to you for free.
That part.
Right? And so that's what happens. And then you get depleted with the ministry because you're giving yourself for free. And they are working you. I mean, they jobbing you. They jobbing you because everybody mad.
What'd you say, La?
Go ahead, read that.
If I'm an exotic dancer, etc., and that's all I know, and pays the bills, and he can't pay the bills, then no. I'm not going to if it's not disrespecting my mate, then no.
That's interesting.
Okay. Because you dancing and getting your money on the pole, and he talking about I need you to stop that. You like, you can't pay my bills. This is how I pay my bills, then no.
But can y'all together pay the bills? Maybe y'all can move into one place.
But she just said he can't pay her bills. So
no, he can't pay her bills by himself.
He can't pay the bills.
The bills. So if they both, but that's what I'm saying. But that would be something that could change over time, right? Because you may find, a man may find you in the strip club as an exotic dancer, right? And then he may value you outside of what most people may even see or judge him on, right? So that's already taking a stance of courage to be like, my girl is an exotic dancer. So ultimately,
that's me right there.
His goal,
that's me all day, right?
Right. Ultimately, his goal is to not be with the exotic dancer in the head of it, right? So you think, because at one point, Amber Rose thought that her husband was okay with her having OnlyFans. That it was okay, that he was holding the camera and he was fine with it, because we all talking about resources. And when money becomes the pinnacle on which we govern ourselves, then we miss the mark anyway, right? Because what it may be paying the bills, but what is it robbing of you? When you watch all of them, is robbing you of so many other things. And so maybe the point is to get the security. Well, she was just a dancer that became famous, dating. I think she started with Kanye West way back in the day, and she had a natural body, but she was an exotic dancer who became a rapper's girl. So now we turn in the rapper, the exotic dancers into. And we now have relationships, right? So now everybody make it okay. First of all, we always do what they say is okay. That's the problem, right? So when enough people say, I could wipe up an exotic dancer, now all of a sudden my shame changes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we care what others think about us.
But no, I'm saying they wiped up the exotic dancers from time again.
Right. No, I don't know. No, they didn't wipe them.
They wasn't. Yes, they became the ladies.
Oh, well, I mean, the ladies.
Because that's what they want today.
Right.
I mean,
you want that woman who can do all of that stuff for
That's
you.
what they looking for. That's what they.
Yeah, but do they still become are they still the exotic dancers when they're the ladies?
Well, like home.
They come out of it.
You mean they do leave and go back and do everybody else and come back?
Some of them is still
depending on the man.
Depending on what kind of
culture
doing you was doing. I mean, because all exotic dancers ain't hoes.
It's a fantasy.
That's right. It's a fantasy.
They're dancing.
They're dancing. Yeah.
Don't touch me. I mean, because you don't touch me.
Yeah.
You watch me.
Right.
It's
I touch you. You don't touch me. My man touch me.
Yeah.
You don't touch me.
Gotcha.
And so a lot of the exotic dancers, actually, their men were their managers. Their partners were most of them was gay. A lot of them was gay. Mm-hmm. They was with their partners with them on
because when you even think about a man, it's like your outfit, right? Mm-hmm. Where you going without me? So I just can't imagine sitting down and being madly in love with somebody, and you want to protect them, cover them, hide them. That in the depths of your soul, you're okay with them being on display. I can't, and I ain't a man, but when I watch how men behave when they claim it, wife it, choose it.
But some men want to. You could look at it.
You could look at it, but you can't touch it.
That's what
I had a man like that at one point in my life. And it's like, no, I ain't going. I may do this in the house with you.
Yeah, men is like,
I am not going out in the street.
But when you start looking, your eyes
like
crazy.
Put it on and come on with me.
Yeah.
I'm not going outside the door.
That's a good one, Lotto. That is a good one. Like, that is a job that you probably would have that conversation more likely in. That is a perfect example for that this topic. Would you quit your job for your mate? Because that is probably the number one job on the list that a mate will want. And I'm talking vice versa. Right. Because the Hamfest, when I was watching videos of how the women act at the bachelor parties or the
nigga, I will turn you out. Yes,
when Chef Juan was pulling up them videos, I was like, ain't no way, bro. Hamfest, like, I guess it's a strip club, but when the women go to the exact,
what was it?
Look at this Housewives of Atlanta. They brought Bojo in there, Bogo, whatever the god is supposed to have the big thing, and 3 of them people never even came back to the show because they thought the cameras was out. And so so I know how true that really is, because when they were showing the videos, they are literally giving head to strippers. They taking turns. I'm telling you, I saw it with my own eyes. Yeah. And I'm like, first of all, the men would never have these recordings. I don't know what they doing at their party, but they all got enough sense to never turn on the camera.
No,
but
that's
these
a private
cameras,
room that you going into. But yeah, they have the women.
They had the camera in the private room.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying for the men don't.
Oh no, they
but when
had the
they
camera
do it with
on,
the
and I
women-
think the Housewives of Atlanta
But-
thought that the taping had
Yeah,
shut down, so you can hear them in the room. You can hear, and the sound and it's still on. And they was like, "Oh, you can hear that stuff was going on."
I've literally watched women doing shit that.
And see, I ain't never
And you-
been
I mean,
to no.
you know, that's like even
I never
the
get
bridal
to
shower thingy. You know where they do this. The freak are you doing? You get married, and how?
I guess we ain't had no bridal.
I mean, but we see we respect our.
Yeah.
See, there's a different. We respect our. There's just
But
some
we
stuff
did,
that
maybe that's
I
a
don't
vague
need
one.
a man
Because there's
I
not
don't
even
need a
men's
man
strip
for
clubs.
that.
I mean, there's not one men's strip club that I know of. Name a man's strip club. I ain't talking about a hand fest when they travel.
You talking about down here?
We could.
A man.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
in New York.
In
what's
New
the
York,
man?
we had zippers. They did women upstairs and men downstairs, or vice versa, at the same time. There
I
was a
mean,
show
and how
going for the
active.
women.
I'm saying when
It
what's
used
the
to be
name
very
first
active.
opened, there was the men and the girls. I ain't gonna lie. It was the men in the men was in the front in a little room. They had a small room. The women was in the back in a huge room, and you can come in and it was the men part. But the men part didn't last more than a year.
What was the
for the women to have the
There's
I
no
never was able to men's thing.
if the men can name at least 5 strip clubs right now in Charlotte to go to. They can go to South Carolina and find a strip club. They can go to they can go in every
for
city
women
and
to
find
see
a strip club. Name
see
a
women.
male strip club that women can go and see men.
What was the name of the daggone place?
So that means that
well, they still have them.
women
Okay, let's just put it this way: they still have.
But that's the point. I don't even hear
I don't-
girls strip going to go. It's like you got this
I
thing.
think it's your associations, my dear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can
no,
only go when
it's
I'm
your right.
associated.
It's your associations because they're existing. They're in existence. It's just that that's not what you do, and the
So you
women.
don't know.
No. That's so false. Most
Okay,
of
I
my
mean, I
friends
could
are
pull-
freakies. We were just talking like, girl. I told one of my girls, I said, yo, we need to open up a male strip club. There is none. Yo, she would know where it is. In Atlanta, tell me, they can name. It's like so. That's just the point. It's A1. I just said
Chippendales was one.
that's what I'm saying. Chippendales Chippendales was a whole brand, and they went on tour. For what I know, I don't know of them where people are flying in. I know of Broadway shows or what, but I'm talking about. These clubs are open from when Rondell was a young. He's now in his 40s. Them strip clubs are still. All of those same brands are here. Don't tell me that there are not men's strip clubs.
Okay, well maybe not. Maybe
And there may be one or two, and that's the point I'm trying to
fashion.
make. Why isn't there male strip clubs?
I mean, and maybe it's not so obvious because the women don't.
Because the men is not the exotic. It's women who are the exotic.
I mean, we get it. I guess we do it when it's time for a bachelorette party. You ship them in.
They do it where they have certain places
into
where
that
they
myself.
go. But a lot of us
all
ain't
up
into
in
it.
my face.
But I've seen women who
I
seriously
would
into
be
it.
buying
And I know
That's
women.
what I said. They wait for the
I don't
fest.
remember the name.
They be like, oh, the fest is coming in town. Oh, the
So-
fest is in Atlanta. They follow the fest, which lets me know that if there was one, it would be full. Because when the fest come, the Yam Fest is what they call it. It's like they all
that's the
booked out.
time. That's what we do. That's the business right there.
But that's what I said. It needs to be a
Underground
business.
business. We need to create.
It needs to be a business.
You know,
because people are looking for it.
the women.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
the women
here.
definitely. I mean, because
No, I'm
that
saying
was
that
the thing
just-
where even what should I call it? When I was selling the toys.
Like
Yeah.
Candy's Closet and all
No,
that.
I'm just making a point
But I'm
that
saying, yeah, those
I'm just making a point
that
that
you
we
have,
have
and we
always.
invite the men to do exotic dance for the women when we doing the party.
I'm just making a
Sex
point
toy
that we are
party.
equally objective. We women are just objectified in every state, in every
Sexually.
city, in every place. Period.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, but like this is an
Yes.
option, right? We
I'm trying to
set
think.
up these options. But when we think
Caveman,
about
these are people
the
who
men,
I've
so
seen,
right. So, because I was like, that was a
Like
good
that,
question. If you are
Getting in the time.
in a erotic dancer that you would do, and I'm like, well, with the man, exotic dancer.
Erotic.
Look, exotic.
What's the difference? What's the difference between the two? Exotic and erotic.
Erotic is sexual.
Yeah.
And what's exotic?
Exotic is
It's just
different.
It's just something that
your
stands
imagination,
out,
yeah.
a little more.
Oh, not erotic is straight.
It's straight to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rock that.
Eros.
Rock.
Exotic is the imagination.
That's sensual.
That's
erotic.
Eros.
Yeah, eros, and because eros is the sex. That's the sexual part of sensual love is eros, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's why
said
erotic.
I went to the down south sex conference in Atlanta. It was a 3-day event. Very nice.
You see what I'm saying? They literally, it's an event. It is a flyer. It is a go. It is not like, oh, where you going Friday now? We going up there to the gentleman's club. We going to the females club.
So
you see what I'm saying?
Do they have any here, Lau? If they got men's things here?
We maybe need to.
And like I said, I remember
it
it being
have the
for
right
5
men.
things.
You gotta,
but
not say you gotta have the right man who's willing to do this regular, right?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's just that.
Because women.
It's funny that probably would be a one because like Chef Ron says,
they be having
sex will always.
That's what I was about to say.
Sex will
They might
always
not have
have
it
it
for the
with
straight
strip,
men, but
exactly.
they have it for the gay clubs.
definitely
Yes.
have them.
They have them, but it's the gay clubs.
And then
Right,
maybe,
right,
but the same way, the
correct.
gay clubs have certain nights that they do certain things.
So
So they
She
may
said
have
they
the-
travel once a year. It was more educational. Yes, I like that because that's what I think we need those
I would love to
conferences.
go to a sex
Because that is what I was
conference.
saying, the marriage university part. You gotta have those women and different and who can share skills and techniques and speak to the body and how to stay.
They need a couple things. So the women go in one room, the men go in.
Sometimes we need you both in the same room.
Yeah, that's why I said
I need you as a man to know how to handle this woman that you with. And the woman vice versa.
She said it was freaky.
was.
I say in those type of atmosphere when you want the men and the women, just because people don't want to be like, I don't want you. I have a question. I don't want you to think it. No, that's when you do the box. No. You have the suggestion box, and everybody put their questions in the box, and then you open up the panel to ask the question, so it's not personal.
Yes.
So I can say whatever freaky, dinky, crazy question I really have without anonymously. You put it in that box. You sit on the stage with your panel, and you pull the questions out like we did. That we're gonna do all that. So I'm telling you, it's gonna map. This conference gonna be so good.
You have to prepare me so that I can be here.
Come for that, yes. So we have to do it in the fall. We definitely gonna work because I think marriage spring. The spring. I do the spring. I want to do a retreat
gotta
though.
Be spring. Because the same way this is spring, but it ain't spring.
Spring ain't spring. But it's alright.
It's
hot?
chilly. It's chilly. It's not chilly to you still.
I don't know if it feels good to me.
It was 56 degrees this morning.
But I think that is important.
It's supposed to be cool this weekend too.
So would you quit your job? I would quit a job for my mate. I would. Without a question asked. No. Quit my job. Okay.
Right.
All I hear is quit and not work.
I'm gonna tell you, I've run into that as a massage person who
thinking about it now. I would, but I was like wanting to be so independent, not independent, but used to just having my own money. It was like, but
I'm not
to be on the flip side of it, it's like
I learned that as a child. I'm not asking. I'm tired of I do for myself.
So
if I got to do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
I've had to learn to ask and humble.
Mm-hmm. And I think that what I said at the very beginning, the what and why,
the what and the why.
Those matter, right? So if you about to start a new family and it's like, well, I want one of us to be home, then that could be vice versa, because I think we're speaking from the women. I think it's harder if you ask a man that question, because we're in the place now where a lot of times women are making a lot more than men, and they are doing it strategically for this problem, right? Because now if I add up daycare,
that part, tell them,
and I'm saying the daycare is going to cost me $3,000 a month. to send my kids to somebody else anyway. And I'm the more financially fit and I can afford, and I would rather you being the man to stay home with the kids because financially she's in a better position, right? So we want to talk about that mate because it's easy to say it from the women because it's always like the women is supposed to be home with the kids, and I quote, right? So because it's already idealistic and visually pleasing to the emotional intelligence from what you were programmed to think, it was more acceptable for the woman to be like, you know what, I will do that. I was built to nurture, right? But if you put the shoe on the other foot, you got so much judgment because the man may be more equipped to deal with it. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen some situations, and a lot of them with my own eyes, that the man is sometimes emotionally more because they're more logical and they don't have all those hang-ups because, like they said, a man will go back and forth with a woman, with a man and get into a fight with him and then it's over and they good. A woman, you get into a fight with that person and we actually go into blows, we're probably never really going to be ever good again. Those men will be even tighter than they ever been before, right? And so they have the emotional intelligence, even though we're supposed to be nurturers. I think we take it out of context because a woman was meant to nurture because you drop off the seed and we got to spend time with the seed. That means that I have a certain mechanism that will build it up. But outside of the womb is really about your experiences and how people connected with you and how, not in your DNA, your CNA, and how you deal. And so you could have had a mother who supposed to be more nurturing that may have a whole lot of other stuff that is not as hard to be that nurturing because they're still dealing. But then you could have had a man who had a whole better upbringing. And so he was always babied and he was always loved and he was always taken care of as a important thing. So what's in him is going to come out. We always know that what's in us is going to come out, whether you want it to or not, right? So you have to address what's coming out because that means it's in. So he may be more capable of loving, nurturing, and having patience with the child. And so in this conversation that we flip it, we would treat it differently, even though all the facts are still the same. But it's like, because I put in my head that man is supposed to be the provider, but provide what? He's not
What's
supposed
the purpose
providing
of it?
is like they said, household, holding the house together is what they said a husband means. So that means if I protect you and I don't take it personal and I do my part because you are in a better than now I'm just covered. So now this is still multiplication. Because now all things are taken care of. And so I think it's harder for the man to say, I'm going to let you provide because of what the word.
I have a problem with if I was doing it and good and all that, I would want to get Byron out the truck. Like, I would not have a problem, baby, get out that truck.
I've never had a mate that felt I could do that. I don't have a problem
with that.
That's
like,
true. I can see that. Lala said she never had a mate that she felt that she could, quit her job for.
Got you.
That definitely makes sense, or is a good reason to quit, right? Because reasons matter,
right?
Not just because you're like, oh, I don't like you because you're talking to people in the cubicle. Yeah. I don't like them for you. Got to quit that job now. That's crazy. Because you might have to quit for that too.
What I'm doing.
But if you like your marriage, that's not just a man asking a female. It's a female saying to a man. Because I know there's a point where sometimes, my income, a woman makes more money, can make more money in a lot of ways than men.
Yeah.
So if I'm equipped to make the money, it shouldn't make a difference. It's the household. What's going to benefit the household and
in our situation? And about what nobody else saying and think I'm giving them is what we got going on in our situation.
Deal with how we're going to deal with it.
Ain't nobody paying our bills.
Ron Portland says, but y'all got to realize women weren't allowed to work outside of cooking, cleaning, and babysitting. So that's the main reason they stayed home. Yeah, back in the day. So true. That's what I'm saying. And so now, and that's where the concept got born, right? But evolution happens when stuff change and people now realize that they are on assignment too, right?
When they created divorce and decided to let men say, I could pay or don't pay to don't be home with my wife. I could go get another woman. So those are part of the reasons why the women end up having to come out, because we need to take care of our families. We need to take care of our families. So cleaning and babysitting, ain't enough babies for me to babysit. You know,
and then they spoke really about it was when they went. What was it? Was the war? What was it? World War. One of the wars was it World War
One. When the women baseball and all of this.
Right, stuff. Major League. So what happened was that they sent the men to war, and the women had to take care of the thing because the men weren't there. And it wasn't like they was paying them to live, so they had to go and keep life in society going, and they got to get that feeling, and they felt, and so once again, a war, destruction, separation, cause. That's what they say. Absent grow makes the heart grow fonder, and I disagree. I think it makes you see that you can live without somebody.
And who did it? And too much.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think in the absence, you then got this this isolated idea, right? That I'm enough, right? But the word always said when two touch and agree, it is so. So it was like it's something changed when you felt that validation. It was like validation, you know?
Yeah. Ron says, depending on the living situation and family dynamic, depends on if both or one person should work, preferably the one who's going to make the most income. Right. The other should be trying to figure out a hustle to add additional income to create more freedom for both.
That part. That's a partnership.
That's a partnership.
Yeah.
That's a partnership.
Absolutely.
That part.
Absolutely.
Which is why is where you get to the point where it's like, we're both enjoying. So it's like now you work and then you pass the baton.
And that's where crack came in.
And that's what multiplying. And that's she said, mommy said, and that's when crack came in. Swear. Now that's a real conversation. That was a Generation Z. What are we, Generation X?
Oh, it's always a drug that's gonna take.
But that's what they do.
That's what happens.
As we get it together to say, okay, the women are now being able to make it. Let us do it this way. Then you create a problem for for the man that's home to be able to create a problem so that we destroying the household still.
That part.
So it's hard. It's the thing of us, right? But we have to unite because that's the thing. It keeps the separation. It starts in your home, and then it keeps filtering out. If we could get the unity at home, where and like I said, take it back to God. And this is the reasons why they don't want God in school in certain places, because it's a foundation that teaches you
my country,
so that you understand
sweet land of liberty.
You know. And they even learning who wrote some of this stuff and where it came from. Because
that part.
Amazing Grace on the Black Keys, because the man was a slave master who recognized what was happening and then used all the black keys to write a song. Come on.
That part.
Come on now.
Because he repented. He understood it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the information isn't shared enough for us to, and we don't have the conversations. And I think that was the thing, to have honest that perspective, the different perspectives coming together so that we could see the full picture. Everybody's seeing from where they're at, and it's not either
picking up the broken pieces,
or it's and. We would always taught this either or.
Yeah.
But the reality is there's an and. Yeah. And that's how God did it. Yeah. He made man and woman, not man or woman.
That part.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock.
Okay, and that not ready yet.
And that both are necessary.
I'll let you know.
Little boy. Little ting ting. His appointment is at 2.
Oh.
She said he'd be ready when she ready because they going somewhere else. The ding dang kids, huh? They think they running something.
And keep driving.
That's gonna be tomorrow's topic. Where you going with no car?
That's why.
Right, because there ain't no buses down
Like
here.
you
like
running in with the keys and jumping in the car like it's time to go. Really? I just scared of these kids. Somebody help me.
He said, I thought she was sleeping in. Who? Oh, you hear Magba. I thought she was sleeping in. She hoped so. Didn't work out like that.
Yeah,
didn't work out. But yeah, so I'm just saying.
But yeah, I would definitely get my boo out that truck, honey.
Definitely.
I would
Without a question.
Yeah. I wouldn't give a damn what nobody said. Don't worry about my household. You ain't helping me with nothing going on. Don't. I don't care about what you say.
And then your memory should serve you, because anybody that's in that position was put in that position. Right? We always start from the promise. Nobody ever goes through the process. And you don't know the process. Tabitha me. Because you know Tabitha Brown, honey, minding your business. You know, the vegan, the black lady that went viral and just had stuff everywhere. Yes. Donna, hair care. But, you know, she was married, 20 years. They just celebrated their 20th anniversary, but was together. And she has been trying to break Hollywood for over 20 something years. But over about 6 years ago, she did a video, and she said she was really not into doing the videos because she wanted to be a real actress, and that was like play. And she didn't think it had that much thing, but God kept on telling her, do the video. And then she said she was sick, and then, you know, something caused her to do a 30-day challenge vegan. And for 18 months, yes. Oh. No, not no vegan slut now. She don't do
what's
slut.
the
No, she just do vegan. No, she just does vegan stuff. Now, there's so many vegan things now.
Oh,
what I'm saying is that no, that's not her brand.
What is that? That's not.
That's just a restaurant that was birthed out of the vegan atmosphere, right? Oh, okay. And so when she did it for a lifestyle change, because she just was trying to figure out something. Her kid brought something to her. But anyway, over that time, the 18 months, she was dealing with headaches and her body couldn't move. And when she went vegan, what the doctors could not give her answers to got fixed within herself. And so God started telling her to do videos of her journey while she's cooking vegan. Okay. So, and she was like, but she said, but she listens to God. And so she was doing it. And so she was doing it. And one day she was in between sets. Now, all this time, her husband has been supporting her. She get the little weird job in here. You know, he was a police officer, so he was already living in the dangerous. But he said she always believed in her dream so much that he just was supporting her because she believed in. He remembered dreaming like that when he was a little boy. So that alone, he said, I'm gonna be a star. He's like, I didn't even really think about it, but I was happy because she had that glimmer that I used to have. So I just let her go at it. So, you know, and her just living through all that time for her to drop somebody off, get a sandwich from out of Whole Foods store that was vegan. And that's the first time she tried vegan bacon. So she just went live and was like, oh my God. So she said, so that she go eat her little thing, because she's been doing videos, and, you know, they get a couple of hundred, you know, a couple of thousand, but, you know, that's about it over weeks. So she said she did that thing, and she went back in her Uber, right? And when she get on her Uber to go, she gets home late, and she got these notifications that her video done hit 50K, and she's like, baby, I think I'm going viral. He's like, what's viral? She said, I don't know, but I think this is it. And then she said, well, the next day she woke up, it was like 100,000 views on that one little video of her talking about the sale. It was like, oh, y'all need to go ahead and try this and da-da-da-da.
That's a jackfruit.
And so,
jackfruit.
No, she had the vegan bacon, whatever the vegan bacon is. So she said she was eating it, but what ended up happening is that the video went so viral that Whole Foods called her and gave her a contract, and she said it's been up ever since. So now she is, I mean, everywhere. She's selling out in minutes. McCormick, she was doing something with McCormick, and they was like, oh, you want to do a flavor or whatever the case may be? And she was like, I've always thought about doing my own flavor. And they sold out in her seasoning in 46 minutes, and that's because the site broke down. It would have been sooner. So that's influence. But she said it's because even when she was like, I'm supposed to be a Hollywood star, she's supposed to be doing shows, and she always thought that she would be the world's
Tabitha me.
Yes, Tabitha me. And so what she ended up,
Tabitha see her.
yes, and so what she ended up doing was when life took over, and she would get him, like pull him in her videos, and they would be tabbing Chance on Friday. She'd get her daughters to do stuff like we do on the video. And then one day, the moment happened where she went viral and everybody saw at the same time. And now that's 6 years of history. Multi-man, and she retired him. Yeah, definitely. So she was like, so now I retired my husband. So now he just coaches basketball. They just bought a new house. But they, so that's why he said me to Tabitha him. Yeah.
She is.
So,
she
is. And I always say that I would love it.
Gets on YouTube, she'll be able to do that. I mean, I think she's, she needs. I mean, it's
she was on Facebook,
I mean, yeah. But I'm just
saying, you talking about
what
you? Oh yeah. I need to concentrate on my YouTube.
YouTube is where they'll pay you if you get the hits.
I mean, Meta too. They changed their whole system over. Yes. If you do reels. Honey, I saw the lady who was on YouTube all that time, and then when Facebook turns to Meta, you can do reels. If you get up to 5, that's the name of it now. It's not Facebook; it's actually Meta now.
Oh, that's that shit be coming up out of. Yeah.
That's what Facebook new name is. So, but if you have reels, those are those videos that you just do them little clip videos on Facebook. The reels, they say it's in your stories, in your reels. So if you go to my reels, all of them will stay forever. Okay. And because a lot of your followers come that go in a regular newsfeed, but there was a lady on there who was doing YouTube. She had 5 kids, was struggling, had a husband, and when they switched over, she just was doing her clips like she always do, just videos of this, that. And that's how she found her. She said in medicine, her $50,000 check. Because if you get over, I think 100,000 videos over 5, and you gotta have, it can't be one video that went viral. It has to be accumulation over 30 days of it accumulating in a minimum of 5 videos to go up. And so now you be able to, because it was none of the stuff she was doing. Just like the lady who class I took, she was on TikTok. Nothing that she was doing. She just was, just doing regular stuff because people want to see regular stuff. They want to see your regular day.
I'm not the camera person.
Yeah.
I'm not that person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that person.
Me?
And I guess maybe, it's like the realization is we got to let go of stuff that was implanted when we was children. Because I just don't find myself camera worthy.
And that's the one. And that's why you have to go through the. And I said I want to do a class where you could be online. Because remember, I used to have to get Kia.
Because
Kia, you could do Kia wouldn't. I'm like, boo.
I needed a shot of drink to get the courage to eat. But in
and it's amazing because I danced all my life.
And that's what I said.
In front of people,
but not in front of
That's what I said. People can't receive, and that's the part. That's why I choose. You gotta be able to look yourself in the face. I could do a workshop.
Thank God for you, Sarah. I love you, Mother Plowden, because I couldn't look in the mirror.
Right.
She made me stand in front of a mirror.
That's the logo.
To look at myself.
You see how the person
is turned around? You're beautiful. Mm-mm. I mean, I was told I was ugly so much all my life.
See it?
You ugly child. I was the ugly child with, a lot of sense and no common sense. But I did not look it. So I did everything for myself. I did my hair. I did all of them with everything without a mirror. Without a mirror. In fact, to the point where I didn't do the mirror to the point where the mirror distorted me. It confused me. I couldn't roll. I did everything. I could sit in the dark and do my hair, rolling, doing everything because I didn't look in the mirror. Because I was that ugly child.
That's the mission of I Choose Me.
So I mean, and it's just working it. I mean, and then those moments happen that make me realize that I still have issues because I still ain't in front of the damn camera.
Yeah.
I mean,
let me tell you something. I can look inside the mirror,
so I couldn't focus on what I was saying, because I'm like,
that's looking in the mirror.
I mean, but if I can't look at me, I ain't trying to make you look at me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that is my, and I guess those
we have on ourselves.
And I think it was nerve-wracking for me in the beginning because it's a camera, because I'm used to seeing the people.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it was, now I had to be the I Choose Me. I had to see myself. because I always say as God whispers, I write it down. So that's why I go back and I even listening. But it is the idea of looking at yourself, confronting yourself, speaking to yourself, because God says to love your neighbor as you first love yourself. So what I'm saying, I got to be able to say it to me. And that's another part about the omnipresence of the internet, because even when I'm talking to you, I'm looking at me. I am the reflection of what I say. And so you are out there, but I am talking to me, because that is who God is making me see when I'm using that word, so that now all of that thing you're trying to give to everybody else, God is forcing you to give it to yourself first.
Yes, Lord.
So I'm talking to you. And I don't know who's out there.
Because I'm on that screen.
You see what I'm saying? So anytime you go live, you are talking to you. You know what I'm saying? You are speaking to you. You are sharing you. And that's another thing. Because then that the main thing that happened on that reality TV is you get to acknowledge and be accountable to self. So the things that you see, and if it's a problem, like I said, you can't fix nothing. You cannot fix anything in anybody else. You can only fix the things that are in yourself. So if I look at myself, and these things to me are a problem, right? I either got to accept the things that I cannot change and find myself worthy enough, or I got to do on the work on the things that I can change, because nobody can do it.
Nobody else gonna do it but you.
And nobody else can do it.
Especially if you have the issue with it. Only you can change it.
Yes. So you gotta say I love. So if it's features that you can't look at, you have to accept yourself. Because if you don't accept yourself, how I'm gonna put you in a room, and when they talk about you, you're gonna do what? You're gonna touch and agree. And once you touch and agree, you become that thing, whether it's good or bad. So if you don't flush all that stuff out of you, when you get in a room with them, you won't care what they say, because you haven't done the work with you. You haven't accepted you first. So you can't expect anybody except you in your flaws until you can accept who you are and say, listen, I'm a work in progress.
That's why it's gonna hurt.
What Chef Ron? I gave my life to Jesus, and he gave a brand new life to me. I gotta accept it. I gotta accept it.
Renew your mind daily.
I mean, to the point where, right, I gotta get another mirror.
Gotta get another mirror. You deserve a mirror. Did you hear me?
Come on now.
You deserve the logo. Is a mirror. And the reason why I love what Kevin did so amazingly is you get in the idea that I'm gonna hug me until I can look myself in the eye. I want you to love you from right where you are. I choose me. # no more excuses, because I was born enough. And you may not be enough for tomorrow, and that's okay, because you ain't got there yet. You can only be in the now. Now is no other warrior. Today, now is always today. There is no other warrior that can be like you. But until you can hug yourself and love yourself from right where you are, how can you expect somebody else to do it?
You need some I choose me gear.
I'm just saying.
So you gotta be like, I choose. You gotta wear affirmations on you. You gotta start wearing stuff that's saying something. Like, you gotta feel that. Like, that part. That part.
Is your cup half empty?
Ooh.
It says, now the Berean Jews were of more noble character than those in Thessalonica. Thessalonia. Oh, look, they spelled it wrong. For they received the message with great eagerness and examined the scriptures every day to see if what Paul said was true. Acts 17:11. It is often said that opposites attract. In a marriage, the husband and the wife each bring strengths and weaknesses to the relationship. One spouse might have the propensity to see things in a negative light, while the other has a more optimistic outlook. Different people have different temperaments. The optimist can encourage the pessimist to lighten up and see the fun in life. The pessimist needs to grow in trust and gratitude to begin to see life through a new lens, one focused on God's goodness and blessings. What is your outlook? Are you the eternal optimist, always seeing the good? Or are you a pessimist, desperately needing someone to help you see that there is light at the end of the tunnel? A great marriage is one where there is mutual encouragement and willingness to grow and change. If that wasn't a word for today. Is your cup half full or half empty? Do you look at the bright side of everything, or do you need your mate to help you lighten up? Talk about your differences. Lord, thank you for making us unique and for being the balance in our lives we so desperately need. And I think that is such a good word for our discussion is, what are you willing? Would you quit your job for your mate? And that's what life is all about. Your why, how optimistic. Listen, this is taken away from you. I trust that you can get a better one. I feel like it's going to deplete you, that we can figure it out. Let's hire ourselves. Let's do the work. Let's create a system. Let's plan. Let's work together. Because God said that when two touch and agree, it is so. And so we always need somebody that's going to lighten it up. That's why it's called enlighten. Right? The light is inside. When you give it to me, it then lights me up from the inside. And then I begin to shine through, because they said light shines through the cracks.
Come on now.
So God said, let there be light. And the reason why he broke you is because he needs the light to shine through. So either you're going to be transparent and the light is automatically going to come through your pain. You see the window pane? The light can shine through the pain, right? Because I'm transparent even in my dysfunction, even in my growth, I'm transparent. Or I can break you because you're acting like you ain't got no light. You're acting like you forget. And maybe because the exterior is hiding the interior. So let me break you so that your light can shine through the cracks. Because I tell you, if there's an abandoned building, you will find the cracks when the sun is out, because the light will always shine. You'll know where the crack in the foundation is. And so in life, God has to crack us when we won't be transparent enough to shine through. And so you got two choices. But the choice is always how you show up. And so I can expose myself, or I can let you break me. But either way, God is going to get the light out of you. And so when we can enlighten each other, is to inspire us to know that there is something deeper in you. And I think that was a great word for today, y'all.
Always
Thank you.
time.
Is your cup half empty? That's what he wants to know. How are you for? Always a word. Oh, that is. I'm even like, how is that? And then as I read, I said, oh, that's
what we
that's
always
what
be
it
like.
be.
I see.
I see, guys. I see.
All right, let's pick the
How
song.
excellent. Your name, all the earth.
Okay, all right. Got your card on that?
See that one right there?
All right.
Amen.
Now it is, girl. Ready?
What does he say?
Irreplaceable.
I'm
And I am
irreplaceable.
gifted.
And I am resourceful.
Wow.
And that's all it takes to have a good mate.
Child.
To be irreplaceable. That's one hell of a mate.
Come
to be
on now.
resourceful, that means we're going to do whatever it takes to win together. And to be gifted is to know that God is making room for you, because he said your gifts shall make room for you. So in knowing that, that's why to have a partner is to have a journey buddy, right? Because it will be a trip, but won't it be good to have somebody help you back up? And that's the enlightenment I think that they spoke of, that my cup is half empty, or is it full? It's all about how you see it. Are you going to be the pessimist, or are you going to be the optimist, right? So at the end of the day, always remember that you are irreplaceable, gifted in your resourcefulness, and God is waiting to make you the example. You are the evidence. Be the evidence. Be the evidence. Great word today, y'all.
Awesome.
This has been a great word today, y'all. As always, we want to remind you that it is a relay race, and somebody is relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave your soul print. Because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right, and what God got right is you. So remember, we don't compete. Oh no, we complete. And the difference between them two words is a L, because L stands for love, and love grows everything. So I need you to remember that you can never turn on anybody else's light. but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility. Remember, that is the ability of measurement in which you can respond. Everybody has one. So you've been tuned into what? Coffee and Conversations. So don't forget to wake up and make today count. Thank you, Mama Faye, for joining us in the studio audience.
Thoroughly enjoy your company
and bringing your non-Twitter fingers but voice to the stage, honey. Because God said it's time to stop being dumb, time to stop being mute and without a voice, because somebody needs to hear from you. So be irreplaceable in your gifted resourcefulness ways, right? So we love you. Remember, love grows everything. So love yourself first. See you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing day.
Enjoy your day.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.